Spiritual Joys by Thomas Watson. What are the differences between worldly joys and spiritual joys? The gleanings of spiritual joys are better than the vintage of the worldly joys. Spiritual joys help to make us better. Worldly joys often make us worse. I spoke unto you in your prosperity, but you said, I will not hear. Pride and luxury are the two worms which are bred from worldly pleasures. But spiritual joy is cordial medicine, which not only comforts, but purifies. It makes a Christian more holy. It causes an antipathy against sin. It infuses strength to live and suffer for Christ. Some colors not only delight the eye, but strengthen the sight. Just so, the joys of God not only refresh the soul, but strengthen it. The joy of the Lord is your strength. Spiritual joys are inward. They are heart joys. Your heart shall rejoice. True joy is hidden within. Worldly joy lies on the outside, like the dew which wets the leaf. Laughter can conceal a heavy heart. When the laughter ends, the grief remains. Like a house which has a gilded frontispiece, but all the rooms within are in shambles. But spiritual joy lies most within. Your heart shall rejoice. Divine joy is like a spring of water, which runs underground. Others can see the sufferings of a Christian, but they cannot see his joy. His joy is hidden manna, hidden from the eye of the world. He has joyful music which others cannot hear. The marrow lies within. The best joy is within the heart. Spiritual joys are sweeter than worldly joys. Your love is sweeter than wine. Spiritual joys are a Christian's festival. They are the golden pot and the sweet manna. They are so sweet that they make everything else sweet. Spiritual joys sweeten health and estate, as sweet water poured on flowers makes them more fragrant and aromatic. Divine joys are so delicious and ravishing that they put our mouth out of taste for earthly delights. Just as he who has been drinking cordials tastes little sweetness in water. Paul had so tasted these divine joys that his mouth was out of taste for worldly things. The world was crucified to him. It was like a dead thing. He could find no sweetness in it. Spiritual joys are more pure. They are not tempered with any bitter ingredients. A sinner's joy is mixed with dregs. It is embittered with fear and guilt. He drinks wormwood wine. But spiritual joy is not muddied with guilt, but like a crystal stream it runs pure. Spiritual joy is a rose without prickles. It is honey without wax. Spiritual joys are satisfying joys. Ask that your joy may be full. Worldly joys can no more fill the heart than a drop can fill an ocean. They may please the palate or imagination, but cannot satisfy the soul. No matter how much we see, we are never satisfied. No matter how much we hear, we are not content. Ecclesiastes 1:8. But the joys of God satisfy. Your comforts delight my soul. Psalm 94:19. There is as much difference between spiritual joys and earthly joys as between a banquet which is eaten and one which is painted on the wall. Spiritual joys are stronger joys than worldly joys, strong consolation. Hebrews 6:18. They are strong joys indeed, which can bear up a Christian's heart in trials and afflictions, having received the word in much affliction with joy. These joys are roses which grow in winter. These joys can sweeten the bitter waters of Mara. He who has these joys can gather grapes from thorns and fetch honey out of the carcass of a lion. At the end of the rod, a Christian tastes honey, as sorrowing, yet always rejoicing. Spiritual joys are unwearied joys. Other joys, when in excess, often cause loathing. Too much honey nauseates. One may be tired of pleasure as well as labor. King Xerxes offered a reward to him who could find out a new pleasure. But the joys of God, though they satisfy, yet they never glut. A drop of joy is sweet, but the more of this wine the better. Such as drink of the joys of heaven are never glutted. Their satiety is without loathing, because they still desire more of the joy with which they are satiated. Spiritual joys are abiding joys. Worldly joys are soon gone. Such as bathe in the perfumed waters of pleasure may have joys which seem to be sweet, but they are swift. They are like meteors which give a bright and sudden flash and then disappear. But the joys which believers have are abiding. They are a blossom of eternity, a pledge of those rivers of pleasure which run at God's right hand. In your presence is abundant joy. In your right hand are eternal pleasures. Psalm 16:11. If God gives his people such joy in this life, oh, then what glorious joy will he give them in heaven! Enter into the joy of your Lord. God keeps his best wine until last. What joy will that be, when the soul shall forever bathe itself in the pure and pleasant fountain of God's love? What joy will that be, to see the orient brightness of Christ's face, and have the kisses of those lips which drop sweet-smelling myrrh. How may this set us all longing for that place where sorrow cannot live and where joy cannot die.